Hello. All right, let's get this show on the road. As you can see on the screen, no big surprises for those who spend with us. The usuals from Brett to Danny to Nannies to Christoph and Mamba and everybody. Not all that surprised, just like I said, we've expected based upon what we saw. Basically, wasting more time around that 57.22. Currently, again, 1 minute kind of being, squeezing that bullish momentum, expected to turn around rather shortly, giving us more downwards action. Although we have 30 minutes to go, so we're not expecting all that much from these 30 minutes that are left, basically. Although, I mean, we can probably move down from where we started. Although the last 10 minutes can surprise. We've seen this before, but not too likely. Not too likely. This is, of course, more bearish than bullish. Quite obviously, we're dragging to the downside. If we're going to drag to the downside, go into oversold territory, amplify this thing. So it seems as the upcoming momentum, depending how much of it we will spend throughout the nighttime. The nighttime tends to be quite volatile, especially recently. Although not necessarily opening up with a gap every single time. Most of the time we actually open up quite steady. Bottom line is that this is currently bearish, so we better stick to what it says at face value. Then let's go to 30 minutes. 30 minutes, of course, is being rather bearish. This is sort of amplifying this effect. We are in oversold territory. On the other hand, that tells us that if we cannot spend here forever. It's very unlikely that we at this point we really are squeezing it. I would assess that we're going to have maybe a couple more impulses at best out of this thing, bringing us closer to where the big gap from between the 18th and the 19th. You see right here, we generated quite a gap right there that we need to close right below us. Those who are not familiar, so that sort of makes sense and plays into this. 45, on the other hand, is still very, very bearish, potentially giving us a little bit more squeezing to the downside, which, what I said, will potentially bring us lower towards that gap, right? So sort of confirmation for that 30 minutes. 1 hour more so amplifies that bearish momentum that we're seeing on the smaller time frames, giving us far more likelihood for that correction to the downside, just as I've presented on the other smaller time frame. Although on the 1 hour it already starts to be rather interesting, rather important. Now if we go to 4 hours, you can see not a lot has changed with how the day will close. We're basically gonna retain this bearish momentum. Like I said, it's just a little bit of a breather, wasting time. It seems like on this formation we're gonna be far sooner moving to the downside rather than staying above. How deep we will go, again, based upon the smaller time frames that sort of play a smaller role, smaller partitions of what's gonna happen. Here we see it's bearish, so far more likely that this is not going to overturn but stay bearish unless that momentum will be squeezed out. The daily is still rather bullish because we've just recently penetrated. In fact, those who have been following know we've expected this, at least I have expected this to break on that 80 area, basically hitting resistance and starting to roll back down. We were able to break out, giving us this excessive or extra bullish momentum. We're seeing something similar, something according to what we see on that previous smaller time frame, according to what we're seeing to the price action in the recent couple of days. So it all makes sense. So this is sort of this convergence and divergence momentum that we've generated, this temporary, recently, where it gives us what seems to be bullish, but we understand the larger picture matters more, and this is exactly that, sort of what we're seeing there on that weekly. It's basically all of this little knob thing that we're seeing right here on the monthly. At the end of the day, what we realize that once the monthly breaks down, starts correcting into the body of the indicator, it's far more likely that we're going to see the breakdown of that weekly as well. That's just kind of, quick coverage. Like I said, I will probably go live a little bit late today just to kind of bring you up, guys, to speed to see if anything has changed. Hello, Murat. As you can see, not a lot has changed. Pretty much what we've expected. We broke back down to that 57.22. Approximately, not, well, it's 10:35. That is very correct. And that is very correct. Why? Somebody asked what my time is? Yeah. It's 10:30. I mean, it was 10:30. So you can see that's Israel time. What you can see right here in the corner, that is Israel time, or this one, it's all Israel time. All right. Um. mm, 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 mm. No, Nanny, I was telling the boys, but thank you very much again for confirming. You are a legend as always. Moscow time. Yeah. Israel and Moscow have similar times. Very correct, actually. Uh, 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 uh. Good evening. Tesla. Sure. Yeah, why not? We can look at Tesla real quick. There's not much really to say. It's the same stuff we covered the other day. We have this overarching channel, the bigger picture of things. Of course, that seemingly we are above, but here the momentum starts to break back down. The only entire reason why we were able to break out that far, sort of completed it, is because we left quite a significant gap right there. Let's take a look at it for a sec. Right, so right, so here we generated the gap, and that gap had to be closed, obviously. So you see the resistance playing its role multiple times until we subsequently closed the entire gap. Now we've sort of retained a little bit of momentum. We have this resistance that, as I said, and I think we have another tiny gap somewhere here in between. And so it would be very weird not sort of wasting that momentum. It will take a little while until we finalize it, and when we do, only then we'll see that sort of momentum, the steepening, the flattening of the curve. When we're going to see the flattening of the curve, of course, with this and with the overall market, it will have to take a plunge down. We said that 260 seems to be the current resistance. 245 is our support. In reality, we have a far larger trend that is going on. If we are really attentive, because things sort of readjust, but you really gonna realize that you have, okay, so here is the trend, right? It's kind of these three layers that we're moving within. What you realize that sort of here, right now we're moving in between this layer, the 260, 235, 4, call it, and 225, right? So you have kind of this range in between. Ignore that 245. I assure you we're going to break it based upon the momentum we saw. But the real bottom, so the real support, whether we're going to see if this is a true breakout, is when we're going to break back down to 205. And the question is, will we break into it or stay above it, right? Whether we're going to retain it, because we didn't test it at all. It is still that longer duration trend we had originally generated from before. Where is it now? It's readjusted. Cannot see it there. Yeah, kind of annoying, but once it gets readjusted, it's going to be there. That's it. That is Tesla for ya. Mamba, sadly, it's far worse than just 200 before 300. It is far worse than that. I've explained before. Tesla is not gonna stay dry when everything else is gonna get wet in that tsunami. So, and that is that. For 127. Yeah, 127. In reality, again, we're not really even. We haven't made it to 127. This is more of a. Murat, you're trying to measure slippage. Don't do that. It's a big, I mean, you do whatever you think is right, but my advice is try to avoid doing that. You're probably going to get it wrong, 90% out of 100. Slippage is a bit problematic. What is that? S&P crossing. Oh yeah, we're dropping back down, right? I wanted an alert for these, that we are dropping back down. Yeah, so it looks like we're getting a little bit more momentum to the downside. On the market close. We have 20 more minutes. Okay, we will get to see what's going on. CrowdStrike. We haven't, yeah, we just down CrowdStrike just earlier today, I think. Uh, CRWD? No, not today. We haven't. Well, CRWD, I think. Yes. No, not today. No, the other day. Well, anyway, yeah, we're gonna do this. Give me a sec. MU. You know what? Yeah, MU. We can take a look at MU. Why not? We can take a look at MU. Mm-hmm. So this overall seems to, for right now at least, it has a uptrend, very clear. Problem is, it is more of a downtrend in reality. More so, it's highly correlated with the indices, and so seemingly people are waiting for that to correct back higher, so to break that previous high. I would argue that this is not the case. In fact, CrowdStrike is in trouble. I think I broke down the supports and resistances. There is, of course, what we have here. We have another one right there. So that's 241. Imagine your next pit stop is going to be somewhere around that 240 range, which will give you sort of that wedge formation right here. Very, very, very likely. So you're going to, at least in the near-term future, it seems you're going to test this, and very likely go into this negative wedge and only then break back down, more so further with the rest of the market, testing potentially this, far more likely. Could be slipping through, going all the way to the new low, testing previous lows, which is... I mean, look, CrowdStrike is tech like anything else. If tech is going to be affected, CrowdStrike is going to be affected. It's just that's the reality. People, I'm not. There's a reason why we focus on the S&P, the indices. It's not like your asset is somewhat holy or gonna float above the water. It's not gonna happen. Come on, guys, think about it. We've been saying this again and again and again and again and again. It's as if you're trying to make me, consolidate. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. It's gonna look the same. It's technicals. It's 1+1 = 2 on all languages and in at all countries. You know what I mean? I hate to be that way, but some things are just not going to change unless you're going to have the change on the whole overall sector. Uh, ETH? You want me? No, I don't look at ETH. No, Jay. No. No ETH here. Sorry. Ain't no ETH here. I don't know who that ETH that you're talking about. We don't do ETH here. I'm sorry. Don't hate, but it's pointless. We don't do crypto. Of course, Leah. It's just that it didn't change since the last time we looked at it. What was it, like a day ago or whatever? Whenever we looked at it, you have some movement there to squeeze out, but be careful when the market is going to start correcting everything. Everything will start correcting with it. There might be some outliers temporarily, so not for a long time. So don't rely on those. Like try to get out instead of wait for 1 more cent or dollar, even if it's 1,000. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? Not financial advice. Absolutely, nannies. Thank you very much. I agree, and I say that you are right. All right, let's look at that MU. You are obviously testing that. What is that? What is that? 97.50. You're at 97.50. You have that resistance you were seeing. What is your this? So you're gonna go down. You're gonna go down with this, and you're gonna go down with this in the following weeks. At least you're gonna have some more downwards momentum. Try probably test 76, 71, then back up to that 97.50. So I don't think you're gonna give it up all that quickly, but it's kind of like, so this is your range. Simply, this is your range. What's going to happen first? It seems like you're going to test higher, meaning you're going to retest that 97.50 first, only then break downwards, then probably retest. You're probably going to have some action right here in the middle. This is why this is happening. It makes sense. And then you're going to break down. Yes. It's Gonna squeeze this out, or this is just gonna converge, slowly take you downwards. Mu is gonna suffer like the rest. Mu, 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 mu. I really like Mu, by the way. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I make lots of wind when it comes to Mu. Can be a tiny fan if you want to, but alright. So that's your, yeah, obviously. Obviously. What is that? 85? Makes sense. Jay, I'm sorry we don't do ETH here. I'm so sorry again to tell you we don't do ETH here. We don't do cryptocurrencies here. It's a bit pointless. SoFi, sure, yeah, why not? Why not? SoFi we kind of covered a little bit earlier today. SoFi does not change a lot in that with that regard. It still is the range between 8 and 6. My argument that the actual low would be around 4, but with slippage and conditions are going to get bad, and when although the effects are going to get mitigated at some point and going to get sort of slimmer based upon the translation to where it comes from, which are the indices, the overall market general weakness for SoFi, it is going to be around the 3, maybe high 2s. I don't think it will actually go to low 2s, but things could get real rough for SoFi. I know you guys think I'm insane, but don't forget, everyone was thinking I'm insane back then when I said, that post the drop, the 2020, we're gonna have a rally that is gonna be insane, and people said makes no sense. By the way, the video is still up. You can find it in the beginning of the channel. Still spoke about these things back then, so a year, which is pretty insane. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, pushing it. Time flies real quick. We have a stupendous amount of people in the community. It's just insane how quickly it grew. Both, of course, it's Tom's community, of course, so there's a lot of push on his end, but even just individually on my end, I was really surprised. So the community is growing, and yeah, I've been saying back then something similar, just kind of opposite. And I wasn't saying back then, I'm saying gonna be saying now. When I said the firm is gonna do 40s and even 50s, people said, "Oh, you're completely lost my mind." But there you go, I was right. Although this particular rally, we're talking about the last one, not this one. This one was expected to actually drop the stock lower, so I'm actually rather happy firm was able to squeeze out a little more. That will make the stock, when it does drop, not suffer the same amount of pain as some people may perceive it to be. What else? Palantir, you guys know we've tested back that 36.64, testing higher. Still, I perceive it to continue rather sooner than later to 36.04. We're gonna see 36.04 rather shortly. Maybe even this week. Maybe we're gonna test 36, but there's a high probability of seeing that 36.04, maybe even lower. I am a bit stretching with the 35, 33, but can very much be. Neo, I don't look at Neo. Chobi, no, 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 no. We don't do Neo here because it's a dumpster fire, and you might as well just put your money in the fireplace, or just put it in, go to the nearest homeless shelter, give it to them. You're going to be doing better stuff with your money. Because it's a principle. We're not going to be looking here at crypto, and we're not going to be looking here at Neo. Those of you who know. I'm going to start position. Thank you. Yeah, sure, Taylor. Absolutely. We are not fans of Neo here. We really, really don't like Neo. Same like Poet. Another garbage. Fancy looking at random ticker Neo. Neo Energy. Metals Car, yeah. Metals Corby? What? Chobi, there's more to the story of Neo in this community that you don't know. and we're not gonna we're gonna not look at them on principle that they are just garbage. That's what it is. Like my brother from another mother says, Tom Nash, garbage. This is garbage. Neo is utter garbage. Yeah, it's the juice of the garbage. So I've been looking at S triple Q since the first. Uh, Taylor, I mean, if you're attracted because it's an S triple Q question, that is correct. As I said before, we discuss S triple Q on the Discord. Join us on the voice chat. Hopefully, this week I'm going to have a little bit more time in the upcoming days. I try to hang out with the boys and girls there. I do have a lot of sessions going on lately. I have students outside the community as well. Also, reminder, I have only one final less spot for my Technical Analysis Academy, my one-on-one tutoring, where I teach you how to and why you need to set the things where you do the why question, which is the most important. I explain all of that wonderful stuff one-on-one on the Discord. Links are in the chat here. Nanny's has been posting all the links. If it's Discord, if it's Patreon, all the beautiful stuff. If you want to inquire about the final spot in my one-on-one academy, you need to DM me, reach out, and that's the only way to get that done. Let's go back to the S&P so we can see it a little bit. No, wrong chart. I'm going to go back to the S&P. We'll look at the MU. Let's go S&P right there. I'm going to look at the S&P, what it's doing. It's doing. What you doing, S&P? What you doing? I'm here to smash the like to enjoy unique content that Greg shares. Thank you very much, Alex. Alex is a former student, well, still a student of mine, if you will, somebody who graduated the academy a while back at this point, been implementing, of course, learning more, and as far as you can tell, he learned how to appreciate all this sort of knowledge. And thank you, Alex, very much for showing up and being awesome. I really, really, really love every single one of you. That really warms my heart that every one of you shows up. And really, this is phenomenal. The regulars, I mean, I cannot express. I do not have. I think I'm lacking the vocabulary to express my gratitude to you. So yeah. Tom, Greg, and mods will not initiate DMs. So to inquire about Greg's TA Academy, join the Discord and DM Greg. Very correct. Nanny's is correct. None of us will reach out to you talking about brokerages, crypto, none of that crap. Market is exciting. It really helps to KO, I'm assuming, to know what Greg is teaching. No. Okay, I see. No. You're missing the end there. Okay, gotcha. No, yeah, Alex, you know, absolutely. Those of you who are not regulars here, the link is in the description. So I know, I see. You're probably driving or doing some of your crazy wild activities. Be safe if you do, my brother. Drive safe if you are. Very correct. So the link to the Discord is in the chat right now. Make sure you join, confirm the rules, so you get to hang out with us and talk about the market. Very good. Yes, just like Nanny said, be sure to read the rules. They're very important. And be aware and notice kind of the, how the theme in every channel, right? And try not to veer off of that, and you'll be fine. And also enjoy the great knowledge and valuable sort of, wisdom and information we have in our Discord. Sorry for that. My voice is dying on me. End of day. I'm sorry. I sound like a mini Arnold Schwarzenegger, probably. Get down! Mini Schwarzenegger. Get down a little bit. Right. Yeah, market is not all that exciting today. I mean, if you're looking at the market on a bi-daily basis kind of thing, you really realize the market is so slow that what we usually would do in a single day, nowadays it takes us 2 days to do. The market is it's just such a nice way of trickery, if you will, by the institutions. If those who see eye to eye with me to what I think that their institutions are doing, this is just phenomenal. I've never seen this level of FOMO by the retail. I mean, we've seen some crazy times, but this is insane. And the institutions, they're celebrating this. You're letting them unload and unload and unload, and at even higher prices. So, although technically speaking, when I looked at the chart, I realized, I mean, yeah, we have squeezed out. Those who are familiar, there's a harmonic pattern that's far larger. Bonus, those who are here, there's things that are beyond the head and shoulders, beyond the flags, beyond all these things, right? It's actually called the Elliott wave, right? It's a bit complex to understand how the whole system works. That's why I teach it one-on-one. But really, it is the overarching sort of theme of things. And if you know where we're at, you're going to realize that even if we're going to generate a new higher high, there is a certain limitation to how far can we go in these technical structures. And at some point, we're just going to run out of juice. And once we do, that's it. The market will not hold. This is going to be very, very swift. People will get caught off guard, if you will, more likely than not. That's my assessment about things. Slow work makes it a great opportunity to sell options instead of buying. I guess so. Yeah, Taylor, I'm not great with options, but if you're going to say so, I'm definitely not going to argue. For options, I highly recommend talk to our admin and moderator, Tim and Arnon. Two brilliant guys. Arnon basically is a day trader. He does that for a living. He's very smart, very successful at it. Probably one of the only few people I can honestly say does it right. And I would recommend talking to him. What he says is not financial advice, but highly recommended. There's a lot of people who here from the community work with him on a daily basis. I really recommend talking to him. All right. What are we seeing here? What am I missing? Taylor, all right, somewhere, right. Greg, I need to leave. Thanks for your analysis. Good night to all. Very good night, Leah. Thank you very much for showing up. Appreciate your time. Hope I was able to contribute to your knowledge of the market. All right, Denny. When referencing your projected lows for various stocks, I understand that it won't be linear drop, but instead a series of tests. Very good, Danny, very correct. You understand exactly. And retests of supports and resistances over months. Thank you, Danny. Thank you very much. That means you understand exactly what I'm saying very, very well. Very good. Someone who is looking to DCA into these stocks, would you recommend we pick the threshold in advance? So Tesla at 190 to start the same journey. Look, it's not a bad thing to have a plan, but if you see technicals for what they are, I doubt you would be wanting to start at 190, right? It's not a bad idea as long as you understand it can take you quite low. $90. Ignore, I had a weird $90 cough right there. So be very careful about that. Yeah. Nanny's Leah. Yeah, exactly. Nanny's is awesome. Thank you. You're the best mod on the planet. To join Patreon, it's only $10 a month, and you get to join our Zoom calls. We had a great Zoom call today. I didn't get to say much, but you guys get to hang out with me on a daily basis on Discord, talk to me about anything, everything. Today, for example, those who were there were privy to me and Arnon arguing about Israeli politics, which was a bit fun. Maybe intense for the listeners, but Arnon and I really love each other and really care for each other, and of course we want the same goal, so don't get scared when we do these sort of things. It's all in great sort of, really great love to one another, as crazy as it may sound at times. What else? But so today was but I do try to hang out, and of course I'm trying to set up more hangouts, more oriented hangouts for the community that will include the Patreons, of course, and people who from the members who want to participate. That's the benefit over being public. It is what it is. Only for $10 you get to join all these wonderful things, including participating in giveaways and whatnot. Christoph, if you like Arnold so much, why you don't come out and hang out with us in the voice chat? I'm kidding. I know. I'm just trying to bait you. I know exactly. You're more of a writing kind of person, and you're busy and all that stuff. I know. It would be great if you come and hang out with us and voice your opinions sometimes in real. I would love that. But I also love Greg. So maybe okay, I guess. I love it. We have a great community. We have a great gathering of really awesome people, and there is this I would guess maybe feeling of this tribe and what's the word I'm looking for? Camaraderie, maybe. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I love it, and I highly recommend you all join us as well. Yeah. No, Christopher, I know, I understand. All right, well, boys and girls, look like the market is closed. Enough banter for today. We really didn't surprise with anything. We went all the way back to that 57.22. Like I said, we're going to be wasting a lot of time around these levels right now. So we're just killing time. We do understand that we're generally still expecting a downwards price action on the grand scheme of things. Right now, we're just kind of observing how the month will end. We have 5 more days, so this hour until even post-market goes to sleep, of course, it sort of resets there. You have an hour in between. Those who know, you have a continuous contract, shows you futures and so forth. But generally speaking, today's session is done. And that's it. So we are left with 5 more days. Tomorrow's going to be 4 days and the session itself, of course. So we're just, mere millimeters away from a potential change in the price action. So be very, very, very attentive to the upcoming days. All right? Remember, the market doesn't always wait for the exact last second. Yeah. Nennies, thank you personally for being the tremendous help that you are to me. This is, again, from the core of my soul, not the bottom of my heart. The bottom of my heart sounds, just not great. From the core of the soul, sounds better. So appreciate your support and help tremendously. You and Brad are easily each separately fan number 1, absolutely, and then help number 1. So yeah, boys and girls, I love you much. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow in the market open. If everything will be fine, don't forget the Academy members of Tom's Academy. We have a Zoom tomorrow. And don't forget to reach out to me if you're interested in learning about the One-on-One Academy. The only way to do so is just DM me and we have a conversation, a voice call that is. And if everything goes smooth, we continue with you starting to learn. All right, so that's it for today. I see you tomorrow, boys and girls. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.